If you haven't had an opportunity to watch X-Men Days of Future Past, stop listening now. Major spoilers, here we go. Oh my gosh, listen, we're talking about the in post-credit scene, man. Like, when everything stops rolling on this film, the screen goes black for about, I guess, 3 to 5 seconds. And you're thinking, okay, that's it. They're not going to show anything. Then all of a sudden, man, it fades from black. The scene fades from black, and you get to see this aerial footage of this sand. It's almost like the camera's on a helicopter. It's flying over the sand. And then all of a sudden, you start hearing this chanting going on. And you're like, whoa, what is this, man? And then all of a sudden, the camera begins to kind of pan up. And as it's panning up, you get to see these people, I don't know how to describe them, but they're looks like either they look like they're wearing cloaks or they're pale skinned people. I don't know yet. I'm kind of making assumptions too because of what I'm about to tell you next. Anyway, they're on the ground, they're worshiping, okay? And they're bowing down, they're worshiping, and you hear In Sabanu, In Sabanu, In Sabanu. And it's loud and it grows louder and louder. And then all of a sudden the camera continues to pan up and you see this figure, man. He has stripes on his cloak, and he has his hands up in the air. And as the camera continues to pan up, you get to see what looks like they're in Egypt. It looks like they're somewhere in Egypt where pyramids are at. And the pyramids are being formed. The pyramids are being constructed, but they're being constructed from these looks like spaceships, man, in the sky. I don't know what they are, but it's kind of crazy. They're almost like, I guess, Transformers, man. If you remember that one scene off of Transformers where the pyramids at, it's exactly like that, except the pyramid is actually, it's being built. And what I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, that's kind of keeping this universe grounded in reality, and that's how they explain that. Okay, moving on. The camera starts to zoom in, and as it zooms in, it's like the helicopter or the chopper is turning right. Okay, so it's starting to turn right, and the camera is turning also, and you get to see the right side of the figure's face. Okay, and it starts to come into focus. The camera continues to pan around, and then it has the figure right on the screen. The figure has pale skin, blue lips. It looks like something out of Prometheus. That's the kind of, I guess you can say, like the tone of the skin is like Prometheus, that same pale skin color. The lips are blue. After that, the scene cuts to black. It's gone. And that's the end. And literally, everything in my soul and my being just immediately stopped, because that was Apocalypse. There is no question about that. And just to show how powerful this dude is, man, like, I was thinking to myself, okay, this guy is building pyramids. This is he's the original mutant. He's the first mutant. Oh my God. I don't know how to explain it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you have to go see X-Men Days of Future Past to kind of understand this, man. But these floating shapes, man, they look similar to the objects that were in the future, I guess you can say. But it's kind of weird to kind of explain it that way. But they look like the ships that were in the future. But I don't know if that's I don't know how that's going to change, because everything in the future has changed because of, you know, we just witnessed the future changing. I don't want to talk about anything else, man. Anything else in this podcast, but we'll come back and we'll talk about some other things later. What did you think about that scene? Did you see how they're using comic book mythology? They're using what we know as comic book fans of Apocalypse, man. The sand, okay, the tribe, the people that are worshiping him. Like, he would literally be a god if he was inside of our reality back in the day, wherever this is. I don't know if it took place in the past. I think it took place in the past. It can't take place in the future, I don't think, unless Apocalypse is aware that they actually changed the future, and now he's back inside of the past, which is the current future that we've seen at the end of the movie with those people that are now present. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think you kind of, if you've seen the movie, you understand what I'm saying there. They're the X-Men that were there at the end of the movie, okay? Now, is he taking the pyramids? Is he breaking them apart? And is he going to attack the X-Men at that point? Or what we seeing and what we witnessing, the first I guess you could say, point where his powers began to manifest. Is that what we are actually witnessing, or are we witnessing something entirely different? I have no clue. But I tell you one thing, May 27th, 2016, that's the date that we get to see X-Men Apocalypse. Put your mind, try to wrap your mind around there. That's 2 years. Literally, we're 2 years off. It's getting so crazy right now, man. With these comic book movies, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. But just get excited, okay? Thank you guys for listening, man. I'm gonna attempt to upload some audio and some stuff. You gotta work with me. I gotta see if YouTube's gonna block this and if Fox and all that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But guys, I got some reaction videos. We'll see what happens, man. I'm gonna try to get them up here. Thanks again for listening, man. What did you think about the clip? Help me understand a little bit more. I think that people that understand Apocalypse and understand his canon will definitely be able to relate to what they saw on the screen. I think that was excellent, man. I'm just finding out that the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that wasn't the fault of Mark Webb. That was the fault of the studio because of his contract. So thank you for setting up Days of Future Past for us inside of the end of TASM 2. So thank you for that. Right here. Okay, and before I go, man, last thing, did anyone notice the 4 horsemen that were off in the distance on the hill? Right over his shoulder, man. Like, it was so crazy, man, seeing this scene. I cannot wait till 2016. Oh my god! 2014 best movie of the year, X-Men Days of Future Past. This thing was sick. You gotta go check it out.